Hello, everybody. I am Jake, aka Bomber, and we are talking Royal Rumble 2021 predictions. Now, before we jump into that super quick, let's take a look at how I did at the Impact Hard to Kill pay-per-view just a couple weeks ago. Not going to take a lot of time on this, but as you can see, I got 7 matches correct, only 1 match wrong. There were a couple matches that were added last minute, so obviously those aren't going to count. But if you look at this, the only match I got wrong was Eddie Edwards defeated Sami Callihan in the Barbed Wire Massacre match. Yes, I'm a Sami Callihan mark. Yes, I thought Ken Shamrock was going to get involved. And yes, I thought Alicia Edwards would get involved. But none of that happened. It was a straight up match. Eddie Edwards won. And you know what? If I knew nobody was going to get involved, I would have picked Eddie. But I'm too much of a Sami Callihan fan to do that. So I let my heart dictate who was going to win this, and it was not Sami. Sami loses another Impact pay-per-view. So I'm going to try to keep track of all of my pay-per-views, keep track of my record on how many I get right, how many I get wrong, and we'll see how we do. So far, I'm 7-1 overall in 2021, and we're going to see what happens here at the Royal Rumble. I am really nervous about this one. I'm not as nearly as confident as I was at Impact Wrestling's pay-per-view, but let's get into it. Enough yapping. First match we're going to talk about. I'm on WWE.com here. Let's scroll down. Let's just start it off right here. I think this is probably my most confident match, prediction-wise. Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens, last man standing. The way the build for this match has gone, we thought this was going to be Adam Pearce. Everybody freaked out. Guess what? They were just, teasing it. Yes, it is Kevin Owens, obviously. I actually wouldn't have minded an Adam Pearce match. Honestly, I wouldn't have. But here we go. I'm definitely going Roman Reigns here because with last man standing rules, Owens has said time and time again in the build up to this, you know what? I will always get up. I will never stay down. Nothing you can do will make me stay down. You can bring your family, you can bring Jey Uso, whatever, Paul Heyman, anybody. You're not going to keep me down. So I can already kind of visualize how this is going to go. Owens is going to get the absolute pure tea trash beat out of him time and time again. He is going to keep getting up. He's going to get Superman punch, get up. Spear, get up. He's going to keep doing it until, yes, everybody believes, oh my God, Kevin Owens is unkillable. He's never going to stay down. And then he finally does after a while. There may be some interference. I don't know. I don't think this match really needs it, but it could easily have it with no rules. But I think the overall, just like their first matchup where everybody was like, oh my God, you Kevin Owens, that was great. I think we're going to get that again. I think Kevin Owens is going to, emerge as this unstoppable. He just won't go down on his own will until he just quite possibly can't do it on his own. So, easy win, I think, prediction-wise for Roman Reigns here. Really looking forward to these matches. Both of these guys are absolutely doing great work. Their promo on Smackdown, I'm recording this right after I watched Smackdown tonight. So you're seeing this on Saturday. So last night I watched this. Very good promo at the very end. Kevin Owens looking really good here, but Roman Reigns is not dropping the title yet. At least not before WrestleMania. So moving on to the next match. Oh God, here it is. Okay. Drew McIntyre is defending his WWE Championship against the Bill Goldberg. And we got some Cricket Wireless ads here on the side of the screen. That's nice. I'm not going to get into the whole Goldberg, whether he should be here or not. That's a whole separate video. I think I might release a opinion piece. Might start doing those again very soon. And I think Goldberg and, part-timers and whether or not they should be used in title matches or how they're showcased in WWE, period. I think that's a whole video in itself. That'll be really fun to get into. So we'll save that for there. But we're just talking about straight here predictions. Who wins the match? Everybody is kind of expecting WWE to, let them down and have Goldberg win because as the story that we've been told time and time again, even here on SmackDown last night, Goldberg shows up, and each time he shows up, he's starting this new streak where he wins the title every time he comes back. He's done it twice. Can he do it a third time? I don't think so. I'm going Drew McIntyre on this one because, first of all, the story of Drew McIntyre beating Brock Lesnar, perfect. Drew McIntyre then beating Goldberg, awesome. To say he's beat those two guys is going to be a huge notch on his belt, his WWE Championship belt. And I think Goldberg, this of course is a quick match. I hear a lot of people saying, I think it's going to be a quick match. You think? You think it's going to be a quick match? Obviously. Even the Lesnar match was a quick match. A lot of people were talking about, oh, it might be quick because Drew McIntyre had Corona. I mean, of the two people, if the reason it would be a quick match, I don't think it's going to be Drew McIntyre. I think it's going to be Goldberg. But what I envision happening here, I think this would be a perfect scenario. If Goldberg and Drew McIntyre, the match starts off right off the bat, Claymore kick to Goldberg. Goldberg down. He don't know where he's at. He's getting up, and that's the Drew McIntyre like, what? Somebody's getting up after the Claymore kick. Of course, Goldberg can do that. Goldberg is that character to do that. So he's like shocked. He goes for another Claymore kick. Boom! Spear. Okay, both guys out. Goldberg still rocked from the Claymore. Can't quite make the cover. Awesome. Here comes the Miz. Okay. Miz, Morrison come out. They go to cash in. Well, the Miz goes to cash in. Jumps in, covers Drew McIntyre, 1-2, kick out, rolls over, gets on Goldberg, 1-2, kick out. Guess what? Now he's screwed. So next thing you know, Claymore kick to the Miz. Miz is down. Drew McIntyre pins the Miz in this now triple threat match. So Drew McIntyre successfully defends his title. Goldberg doesn't take the pin. Now Goldberg is set up for a match for the Miz because the Miz cost Goldberg his WWE Championship match. Now you can go into WrestleMania with Miz versus Goldberg, and you don't have to worry about a title being on the line. You can have Goldberg have his moment where he gets his big win, and it's the Miz, so it's going to be an easy person to jackhammer, easy person to spear, easy person to have a good, quick match with. Not saying that Drew McIntyre can't have that, but I'm saying we know the Miz is capable of doing that. And who knows, it might be a 2-on-1 match. You might throw Morrison in there too, I don't know. But Goldberg can have his win over there doing that where no title's on the line and everybody goes home happy there. But then you also have Drew McIntyre winning at the Rumble, keeping the belt. It stays on his shoulder. He goes on to, defend his title at WrestleMania as well against, who knows? We'll have to figure that one out. But that's what I would love to see. Whether or not that happens, I don't know. I think regardless of the cash in, I'm still going with Drew McIntyre getting this win here. God, I got something in my throat. I think Drew McIntyre still gets the win here. But that's the whole scenario is something I would love to see. It's a win-win scenario, I think, for everybody, unless you're a big Miz fan. You don't want to see him lose Goldberg, but oh well, it's Goldberg. So that's enough on that one. McIntyre gets the win. So next up, we have another title match here. The women's tag team titles. Charlotte Flair and Asuka defending them against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. I don't know why. I don't know why Shayna and Nia Jax lost the titles besides, oh, hey, it's Charlotte Flair. And look, I'm the first person that will jump out here and say, hey, Charlotte deserves to be in the title picture. Charlotte is one of my favorite women's wrestlers. I think she deserves everything she's gotten. I'm one of those people, probably the people that you hate out there. I'm one of those people. I think Charlotte has done amazing stuff and people just hate to hate at this point. But having said that, I'm also not blind, and I'm also, I can call it like I see it. And Charlotte being shoehorned into this title when she came back was kind of out of nowhere and kind of just muddies up all the stories that are currently going. So I will be the first person that will jump up and say, yes, I believe in Charlotte Flair, but her title win, I'm caught off guard by that. I don't really understand it, and it seems a little forced. Okay. I'm gonna say it. It seems a little forced. So, Charlotte right now has got the whole story with her dad and Lacey Evans. Asuka doesn't really have anything going on right now, and she's the women's champion for Raw. So both of them can easily have Charlotte has her own thing going, and Asuka, if a Raw woman wins the Rumble, she's got another competitor to face right away for WrestleMania. So where does that leave the tag team titles in this? They shouldn't be there, is what I'm saying. So I think it only makes sense that they lose their titles tonight. And the thing that's scary about this match about predicting this match is they don't have to drop them tonight. They can drop them, I say tonight, on the Royal Rumble. They can drop them on Monday Night Raw. They can drop them on SmackDown. They can drop them at the Elimination Chamber. They can drop them at Fastlane and still go into WrestleMania without the tag team titles and be able to do their stories with Lacey Evans, and Asuka could still be defending against the women's Royal Rumble champion winner. So that's the real scary part. They've only had one successful title defense, so that also makes it, because I look at that a lot. I know WWE hot potatoes their belts a lot, so that really has me a little worried. But I think I'm going to side with simplicity and what kind of makes sense and simplifies all of the stories going on. There's way too much going on with Charlotte right now for her to have that tag team title. There's an easy out for Lacey Evans to come out. Maybe her dad comes out. There's some kind of distraction. This could easily happen in the Rumble too. That's the weird thing. That's why it's weird her being in two different things at once tonight, or at the Rumble. And either way, I think I'm going with Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler to become the two-time women's tag team champions. It makes sense. It makes things easier. It makes stories less cluttered and less... there's no reason for them to have the titles. There's not. So I'm going with Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, but I can easily see them dropping the titles later on before WrestleMania. So my confidence level on this one is not as high as it should be. So right before I started recording this, they just posted this online. Yes, they made it official. Sasha Banks defending against Carmella. This is the SmackDown Women's Championship match. These two, I really don't know what direction we're going. They have a feud that they're doing right now, which has been fine, and I see it continuing, but I don't see where their directions are going after this. I can't envision what Sasha's going to do after this unless she's defending against the winner of the Rumble, or what Carmella's going to do even when she loses, because she just came back to her very first feud. Why would she lose her first feud coming back for the title? It makes sense for Carmella to win this, but we've already got over the hump of, Sasha always loses her belt right away. Now that she's defended, I think she is going to continue to defend it. And I don't know if she's even going to hold it till WrestleMania, but this is a tough one. I think I'm going with Sasha here. But man, I feel weird saying, "Oh, Carmella, we've done this big rebuild. We paired you up with this dude. He's a crazy high flyer guy that can do all these fancy moves." We see him against intergender match, by the way. What? WWE just throwing intergender match in like out of nowhere. It's like, oh, by the way, here you go. But I feel weird saying that Carmella's going to lose in her return here. Return big pay-per-view title match here. But it doesn't make sense for Sasha to lose yet. So I'm very low confident on this one, but I'm going with Sasha Banks. A lot of question marks are surrounding this match for me. So I'm going to err on the side of, title defense, and we'll see where we go from here, which usually is not very good to go by. So yeah, I'm biting my tongue on this one. We'll see what happens. Now let's talk the Women's Royal Rumble match. Of course, we have a lot of possibilities here. I think it's really down between, on the current roster, I think it's down between two people. And I think the two people are obvious. Bianca Belair and Bayley. They are the two biggest that have been, storyline wise, that have been up front and center about winning the Rumble. Now, I know a lot of people, and I know you're like, wait a minute, what about Rhea Ripley? What about Rhea Ripley? Come on now. Okay. I think Rhea Ripley is the internet's pick. Like, everybody loves Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley is amazing. She is one of my top 5 favorite women's wrestlers right now, easily. I would love to see her win. And I think that is why everybody is jumping on that. It's the couple years ago, like, I don't want to say couple years, it's a long time ago now, 2015, 14 maybe? Daniel Bryan. Everybody wanted Daniel Bryan to win. I think this is going to be that same scenario. Everybody wants Rhea Ripley to win. Everybody expects Rhea Ripley to win. She got crapped on at WrestleMania last year when she lost to Charlotte. She's done nothing in between. I think that is, I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't know why. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be either Bianca Belair or it's going to be Bayley. Now, everybody is, if they're not picking Rhea, they're picking Bianca Belair. I'm almost as split on Bianca Belair or Bayley simply because the whole feud between Bianca Belair and Bayley that's been going on, Belair came out on top for the most part, except for the shady win at the very beginning. Belair's come out on the top the entire time. That is perfect. And it is perfect and ripe for a Royal Rumble Bayley screw job eliminating Bianca Belair from the Rumble. It is perfect. I would not be surprised if it comes down to these two as the final two competitors in the Rumble. I think I'm going to err on the side of the obvious pick, which is Belair, and I think I'm going to select Belair as my prediction here. But her win even tonight, her straight up clean win on SmackDown on the go home show. You know what they say, you don't want to look good on the go home show right before the pay-per-view. I think Bianca Belair is way too obvious. They're putting her right out front. It's kind of a red flag for me. I think it's a perfect scenario for Bayley to get the win in this Rumble. It's not going to be Shayna. It's not going to be any of the other girls on here. It's not going to be Charlotte. For all of you that just want to, Charlotte, give Charlotte everything. Charlotte's not winning back to back. I think a couple outside competitors that could be awesome, as some dark horses I'm going to throw in there. Alexa Bliss could be good. Maybe we could get that match that we should have got on Raw this past week with an actual finish, maybe. But something weird. Alexa's going to do something weird and teleport out of the ring and just I don't know. It's not going to be Alexa, I don't think. I would love to see a crazy, miraculous return from Becky Lynch. I don't think everybody told me, because I was like, hey, how long does it take to recover from having a baby? And everybody's like, you're way too soon for Becky to come back. But if anybody could do it, I feel like Becky would be the one to be able to get herself back in ring shape. And again, Royal Rumble, you don't have to be in like amazing ring shape to, win or be in a Royal Rumble. You can get by in a Royal Rumble without being like in peak condition. But that would be amazing. You talk about a crazy, and that gives her from January till April to get ready, 3 more months to get ready for WrestleMania. And then that would be awesome. That would be perfect. But highly unlikely. That's a fantasy pick. Ronda Rousey, of course, is always a fantasy pick. I think it's time to let that ship sail, though. But there's not many, obvious winners in this one besides Bianca. Ripley is what a lot of people are thinking. I don't think it's going to happen, though. Or Bayley. So I'm going with the safe pick. I think it's a very safe pick. And I'm going to pick Bianca Belair to win the Women's Royal Rumble this year. Last but not least, I say last but not least, but I swear to God, I remember on Raw, Matt Riddle won an opportunity in the gauntlet match against the Hurt Business to face Bobby Lashley, but I guess they said it was going to be a match later on down the road, so it might not be on the Royal Rumble. They got to have something on the pre-show. I feel like that would be a good pre-show match. I don't even know if it would be fair to say, to pick that match right now because it's not confirmed on Twitter. I checked the WWE's Twitter account. And right before I did this, nothing popped up. Let me hit refresh one more time, just in case they make it official for some reason. Nope. Braun Strowman. We're gonna talk about that. Okay, so I don't know. I think I would have picked Bobby Lashley anyway, but we won't count that since it's not official. So Men's Royal Rumble. Long story short, a lot of people now are saying, you know what, they want to Nakamura, and that is the beauty of the gauntlet matches. They get people over that you weren't really expecting. Like, nobody was thinking about Nakamura before that gauntlet match that happened a couple weeks ago. Nobody cared until Nakamura came out, had an amazing performance, and then got beat by Adam Pearce. And everybody got so mad about Adam Pearce that they all took up in arms, going over and jumping on the Nakamura bandwagon once again. But Nakamura, I don't hate Nakamura at all, but I don't think Nakamura has a very good chance to win the Royal Rumble this year. 2 Royal Rumble wins for him, a couple years in a row, between them. I just don't see it. There's a fun story that I think he should get a match against Roman Reigns that we could do either at Elimination Chamber or Fastlane, building up to WrestleMania. But it's not going to be a Rumble win for him. A lot of people are saying Big E, that would be cool. I don't think Big E doesn't have a chance. I think the big contenders for this are the obvious Daniel Bryan, and Edge. I think these are the big two right here. And I don't like how they got them right in the center though. That always gets me suspicious. I like to look on the people on the sides and like, oh yeah, they don't want it. I'm a little, I don't know. I'm a little scared of the obvious when it comes to predictions. I shy away sometimes, but here I am again, picking the obvious safe pick, just like I did with Baszler, even though I just said that. I am going to pick Daniel Bryan to win the Royal Rumble, and here's why. Edge would be awesome, especially after last year and the good matches that he's had, and he had that injury. He was gone for the rest of 2020. Kind of sucked. But the thing is, he came out of nowhere. Again, nobody was expecting Edge, again, even thinking about the Royal Rumble for the most part. And then on Raw this past week, he put himself in the Rumble, and everybody's like, oh my God, Edge is somehow went from 0 to one of the top 2, top 3 people to win the Rumble in their predictions, which is hilarious. But I don't think it's going to be Edge, simply because you have to plan out, okay, whoever wins, who do they go on to face at WrestleMania? Is Edge going to go on to face either Goldberg or Drew McIntyre? Goldberg and Edge versus Goldberg WrestleMania. Now that I think about it, that's a pretty big marquee. Everybody would be furious, of course, the internet would. But no, it's not. That's not going to happen. Edge versus Drew McIntyre. You got two faces. Doesn't work. I mean, he could go on to SmackDown to face, because I believe it's still in effect where the winner can choose whichever brand they want to face. Is he going to go on to face Roman Reigns? No. That's the reason why I'm kind of ruling Edge out. I don't see a path for him to go on to WrestleMania to face certain one of the champions. Now, does he have a lot of story? And his story, his passion, his acting, all of that has been fantastic, and I think he will have a premiere match at WrestleMania. Maybe we finally do get the final blow off between him and Orton. I don't know how we get there, because it seems like that's going with the Fiend. So I don't know. We'll see. But I don't see Edge. I don't see Edge panning out in this match. Daniel Bryan, the story's perfect. He's came out every week, hyped it up on SmackDown. He was the very first person, I believe, that put himself in for the Rumble. He was the very first favorite out of the gate for this match. Daniel Bryan is, the story's there, and everybody that watches the podcast, that listens to the podcast, knows that, I'm not the biggest Daniel Bryan fan. I don't hate him. I don't. But this year, the story works. Several years ago, when everybody was mad that he didn't win, the story did not work. People wanted it to happen, yes, just like they kind of want Rhea Ripley now, like I was talking about. But the story didn't work. Now, this is the story for Daniel Bryan. Never won the Rumble. It's time. He goes on to headline WrestleMania. And as he said, he's closing out his career. What a way to end. It will cement Daniel Bryan as a Hall of Famer. He pretty much is already. But it will cement his legacy. And I think this is the perfect story for the Royal Rumble in 2021. It's that feel-good moment that we all are looking for, that, WWE has been more, positive as far as their outcomes in this past year. And we're going to see if they continue in 21. I think Daniel Bryan gets the win in the Rumble. But I was a little afraid on SmackDown tonight when AJ Styles came out. And I was like, you know what? How awesome would an AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan match be at WrestleMania instead? Talk about a headline, great match, lights out, match of the year candidate. Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, big match, WrestleMania. Now that's a WrestleMania moment. Daniel Bryan beating AJ Styles, two of the best, well-known best wrestlers in the business today, if not period. Those two guys right there. That would be great. So I'm like, well, wait a minute. Then maybe they won't win the title, but I know they're on Raw, SmackDown, there's challenges. Then they had a match tonight on SmackDown. It didn't end clean. It ended up where it ended up in a schmoz. Everybody came out and it all went crazy. But who else came out was Braun Strowman. I was hoping that would not happen. I wanted Braun Strowman to be a surprise because he was the dark horse that I was going to pick to win the Rumble in this video. As I'm watching it and he came out, I'm like, no, I wanted to look like the smart guy and said, you know what? Braun Strowman, I think he's going to do good. I think he's got a chance to win. And everybody's like, you know what? I forgot about Braun Strowman. But nope, they kind of ruined it, and they ruined my surprise. They ruined their own surprise, and Braun Strowman came out. So now people have them in their minds when that could have been a surprise. So I don't know. I don't know why they did that. But I don't think it's going to go that route. There's too many hurdles in there with the Raw and SmackDown. I don't think AJ is going to pan out. He's got his own stories. He's put so many people out of the Rumble. I wouldn't be surprised if the story was those people came out and screwed him out of the Rumble. It's kind of fantasy booking there. But some of the other fantasy stuff that I was thinking about was I want to see Dominic eliminate Baron Corbin, because that's been the whole story lately. I want to see him eliminate Baron Corbin, and then I want to see Dominic eliminate Rey Mysterio. I want to see Dominic eliminate his own father from the Royal Rumble. How awesome of a Royal Rumble moment will that be? Because you love the little tiny intricate stories that they weave into the Royal Rumble. They've been very good about that in the past couple years. That would be really fun to see. I don't think they're going to have Rey eliminate Dominic, because I know Rey is, he's so nice. He wants to put his son over. So I feel like it would be awesome to see Dominic eliminate his own dad. That would be a really cool moment. Just some fun stuff that I thought of when I was trying to think who would win this thing. I'm going to go Daniel Bryan. I know it's I know it's the safe pick, but the story's there. The story's perfect for Daniel Bryan this year, as opposed to the years before when I was one of the guys against the Daniel Bryan, should have won the Royal Rumble, screw Roman Reigns, blah, 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 blah. I was against that. I was so completely behind Roman Reigns' push at that point, but it's time for it's time for Daniel Bryan this time around. So that is it, guys. There's not that many matches on the pay-per-view. I loaded up the Wikipedia. There's only 6 matches confirmed as of Saturday. Technically it's Friday at like midnight. I'm recording this, so just got off work. But that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope if you are making predictions somewhere in a prediction league, I hope maybe I helped out talk some of this craziness out with you. I hope I helped. I hope I didn't hurt. I hope I didn't screw you over. And if you do get something wrong, don't get mad at me. I'm just giving my opinion on what I think is going to happen. And I'm trying to throw out what I want to happen. I'm trying to throw that out the window. I'm trying to go with what I think is going to happen. So I'm very, up in the air with this show. 6 matches. I'll be happy if I get 3 right, honestly. Royal Rumbles are always hard to predict, so those are going to be hard to, land those. But either way, I'm very excited for the Royal Rumble. I hope you guys are. It's my favorite pay-per-view of the year. I'm sure it's a lot of your favorite pay-per-views of the year too. So let's enjoy it before WWE moves over to Peacock. And I hope you guys stick around. If you did like the video, please hit like. Please subscribe if you like this. I will be giving every pay-per-view of the year for WWE, NXT, AEW, and Impact. I don't know about Ring of Honor yet. I haven't ruled it out, but I'm definitely not confirming that. So I don't know. We'll see. But I'm going to see how well we can do this year. And you know what? For those of you that have been a part of Jobber Radio community and, the prediction league is not there anymore, it will be again in the future at some point. Nowhere anytime soon, but just hang around. I want you guys to, still join the community. Let me know what you guys think. Who do you think is going to win down below? Are my picks that crazy and outlandish? Is Goldberg 120% going to win? And Vince McMahon hates everybody, and Vince McMahon hates wrestling. Is that going to happen? Let me know, because I'm sure you probably think so. But that's it for now. I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care.